So I got one more song to play. I know that you guys need to get back to work.
No, you can take your time.
I'll make the song really long. Actually, it is a long song. It's a funny story how this song even came about to exist. I was, my last record that I did is a record called OK Now, and I did it on a different label, and I wrote it really quickly. I basically wrote it while I was on the road, touring on the record before that, and so when I got done with that record and touring on that record, I told my label at the time, I was like, I really want to take some time and just write for a while for this next record. I've never really done that. We've been touring for years now. There's no place else to play. People don't even want me. They're sick of me. Let me just leave me alone for like a year, and I'll move somewhere else, somewhere on a mountain, and I'll just write for a year, and grow a beard or something like that. And they were like, great, go ahead and do it, which is probably because they just wanted to see if I could grow a beard, I think. And so I was like, great, I'll see you in a year. So Amy and I, my Inglewood wife, we moved to California, and we got a little place on the side of a mountain. Everything is going according to plan. And I start writing, and I write, and maybe 2 months go by, 2.5 months, something like that. And so I have, in true artist fashion, I am ready to hit the road again. It's been 2 months. I already have the record. It's the greatest piece of music ever written by man, and I'm ready to go. And so, I call my label. I'm like, I think I've got the record. And of course, they're like, there's no way you even have 5 o'clock shadow. And so I send all the songs in, which is a big deal, to send all the stuff in, because by now, I've been agonizing over every lyric of every song, and I think it's ready to send in, and we'll see what they think. So I send it in, and you wait a little bit, and which is agonizing because I'm trying to write some more songs, but I'm really just staring at my phone. And so finally they call, maybe after a week or something like that. So they call, and I talk to my A&R guy. I'm like, hey, did you listen to the music? And he's like, yeah, I've been listening to it all week. I'm like, what was it? What do you think? And he said, well, I think they're all terrible. And I was like, no kidding. And he was like, yeah, they're 11 minutes long. What are you doing? There's too much piano. They're too complicated. He's like, it's been 2 months. You said you wanted a year. Just keep writing. So you shake it off a little bit, and I start writing again. So this time I give it a little bit longer. It's maybe 3 months. So I'm 5.5 months into this now, and I think, and I'm like, no, I thought that music was good. Now I have the greatest music ever written. And so I send this album in to the label, and I wait, and same thing, I give it maybe about a week. He calls. I'm like, hey, did you get the music? He's like, yeah, I've listened to it all week. I'm like, so what do you think? And he's like, same thing. It's just the songs are too complicated. This is not, we're trying to write for the masses here. This is too weird piano stuff. And so I hang up the phone. Which of course, back in the day, artists in the 80s that got rejected, they could slam the payphone down. This is an iPhone, so there's no frustration. So I had to let my frustration out somehow, and so I write a song. And I'm like, I just need to sit and write a song that's maybe or maybe not about the guy that I just got off the phone with. No one's going to hear it. It's just, this is therapy, I can't afford a real therapist, so I'm just going to write a song. And so I do. And I do everything opposite of what he says. I make it way too long. I put a minute piano solo in there just to have a minute of nothing but piano. I don't even care if it sounds good. I don't care if it's annoying to people. I just want a minute of just piano on this song. You know? So I do all that. I write it. I feel great. I feel better. I go back to writing. And so then I write 25 more songs or whatever. And I pick the ones that I'm gonna send in. Because some are just terrible. And I never send them. And so when I'm going through picking the songs I'm gonna send to the label, I come across that one that was the therapy song, and I think, it's not like it says his name and everything like that. It doesn't have to be like song one. I'll just slip it in like in the middle and send it off. And so I did. So I put this song in there, and I sent it in, and then give some time, and then finally he calls. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, did you get the music? And he's like, yeah, I've been listening to it all week. I said, well, what do you think? He said, all the songs are exactly the same as what you've been sending me before. They're too long. They're too complicated. But there was this one song that was so good. He's like, now we're making some progress here. He's like, you should run with this style. Build your whole record up off of this, which makes no sense at all. But that's this song. And so now it's not only on the record, but it's the title track off of the record. So this is the song Promising Promises off of the record. Promising Promises.
I close my eyes.